All right, today is Wednesday, and today we're going to take notes over Ben Franklin, and then you're going to do an assignment over aphorisms. So, sorry, I'm just looking for the Ben Franklin notes. Ben Franklin, beloved founding father and womanizer. Ben Franklin was a lover of knowledge, and he was very inventive. He gave us the lightning rod, the Franklin stove, bifocals, and Poor Richard's Almanac. He was a politician and a civic activist who not only helped lay the groundwork for the Declaration of Independence and the United States Constitution, but was also the country's first ambassador to France. If you dig a little deeper, though, you're going to be surprised to find out that poor old Franklin had an incontrollable weakness for the opposite sex. As a teenager, he made advances toward his good friend's mistress. Yes, that was the end of their friendship. And let's not forget, in his early 20s, he fathered an illegitimate child whom his wife Rebecca would eventually help raise. Apparently, he was very afraid of his libido, which means his sex drive. He confessed in his autobiography that the hard-to-be-governed passion of my youth hurried me frequently into intrigues with low women that fell in my way. Even with the passage of time, Franklin's passions were unrelenting. In fact, they seem to only have grown stronger. From age 50 until his death at 84, he spent very little time in Philadelphia with his wife. Instead, for most of those years, he was busy hobnobbing in London and Paris and acquiring a reputation for his extracurricular activities, meaning he slept around with everyone and anyone who would sleep with him. There was actually a verse that circulated around about him, and it went like this. Franklin, though plagued with fumbling age, needs nothing to excite him, but is too ready to engage when younger arms invite him. Excuse me. He wrote a letter to a young man once, and it was called Advance to a Young Man on the Choice of a Mistress. And he said, in all your armors, you should prefer old women to young ones. And he goes on to explain that older women tend to have more discretion, meaning they're quieter about what happens, and will take care of you when you're sick. They are cleaner than prostitutes, and that there is no hazard of children because they're too old to have children. He also offered that you really can't tell who's old or young when you're in the dark. That's good old boy Benny Franklin for you. But moving on from his personal life, he did have a lot of major accomplishments in his life. So 7 of his major accomplishments are, first, the political cartoon. They seem to be around forever, but he actually was the first person to start this trend, and he was the first author of the first published political cartoon, using humor to convey a message that is political. He wrote Poor Richard's Almanac. He invented the lightning rod. He invented bifocal lenses. He was known for the fight against the Stamp Act. He helped to create the Declaration of Independence, and he founded the University of Pennsylvania. So those are just some of his accomplishments, even though Benjamin Franklin, as we know him, was actually not the stand-up guy that everybody thinks he was.